Thursday, May 8th. May I have roll call, please?
Chair Nichols,
Here.
Vice Chair Lucas,
Present.
Trustee Case, Trustee Markle,
Present.
Trustee Olivas.
Present.
A quorum is present.
Thank you. Okay. Item number 3, public comment. The public is invited at this time to provide comment on any topic that relates to a matter over which this body has supervision, control, jurisdiction, or advisory power. Would anybody like to come up and make a public comment? Come on up, and if you would, please state your name and spell it for the record. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Ed Skudlarek, and I just wanted.
I'm sorry, could you spell that, please, for the record?
Sure. Skudlarek. So, yeah, I just kind of came to life as far as the libraries are concerned recently, like in the last year or so. And for a good part of my childhood, libraries were really important to me. And my mom passed away recently, and she was a donor to the library in the town that she lived in. And so when I was back there visiting, we went to visit that library in Batavia, Illinois. And so it was really cool to have done that. And it was a part of her celebration of life, some of the things that were mentioned. And so anyways, I've had a love for libraries for a long time besides that. And I think it's a real important institution. And lately, in some volunteer service that I've been engaged in Carson City, I've heard the director of the library talk about the programs, and I've been to the website, and I've taken a look at what all the library is doing in the community and for the community. And I've asked about being able to use like the conference rooms, and I've gotten really good feedback, understanding how that works. And, you know, I've just had a really amazingly good experience. And so I'm seriously considering applying for one of the vacant board trustee positions when that happens. I guess it's already happened, or it's going to be happening shortly. And so I just really just want to express my gratitude more than anything for the staff and the director of the library. And obviously, you know, I've done a little bit of reading on what the board does recently. And I've just been so impressed with what I've read about the board members, the trustee members, and how qualified they are. And I really don't feel qualified having read them. It's kind of like, but you know, I think we live and we learn, and so we'll see. But thanks for doing all that you do for the community, and it's just such a vital part of democracy, and so thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate the words. Anyone else? Okay, then let's move on to item number 4, approval of the minutes. Has everyone had an opportunity to look at the minutes? Yes, no, maybe?
I move this is Trustee Markle. I move that we approve the minutes of the April 10th, 2025 regular meeting.
Anyone second?
Vice Chair Lucas, I'll second.
I do have, now that we're in discussion, I think where I want to fix something. Sorry, I'm trying to find it.
So backtrack. We're not approving them yet. We have something to fix
We can, well, I thought we did
in
a
the
motion.
minutes. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought we did a motion and then we discussed it.
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh, okay. I thought we just, but we were, okay.
No?
if you're gonna, you can hold discussion after a motion and a second. But if the result is that there's something that you want to have changed in the minutes, then you'll have to amend the motion and get a second for that motion
Okay.
before voting on it.
Well, sorry, we kind of jumped the gun before I could say anything. Sorry. On, looks at page 5, third paragraph down, it says Trustee Markle suggested reviewing comments from staff during the next evaluation without them carrying immense weight. I don't really think, and then as you go on, we were having a discussion about a question that Trustee Markle wanted to see on there. I don't really think that's what she was saying. That first sentence just doesn't make a lot of sense to me because that's not what we were discussing.
Well, the HR guy, Mr. Collum, then suggested focusing the question on future objectives. So my understanding is that that satisfied my question.
Yeah, but your question wasn't, you didn't suggest reviewing comments for the next evaluation. You wanted to add a question to the evaluation.
Yes, and that's what Mr. Collum said he would do.
Is the distinction between reviewing comments or suggested adding additional questions versus it sounds like reviewing comments would be after going over the completed applications, whereas
It just doesn't, sorry, I just don't like the way it's written. But if everybody else is happy with it, it's not a hill I'm going to die on. But okay. That was it. So if we want to go ahead and just, we want to go ahead and approve them as is, then all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Do we need to do the motions again? No, because we're doing it as is. Okay, motion passes. Okay. Item number 5, 5A, discussion and possible action regarding direction from the Board of Trustees on the process and tools for completing the library director's forthcoming annual performance evaluation. So I take it there is an issue with the way we're doing it?
Sure, yeah, Adam Tully, Deputy District Attorney. Yeah, I guess that there's, arguably the way that it was initially proposed, which I reviewed, I'll add, right? But as initially proposed, arguably there's a portion in the process where we're creating a constructive quorum by having each member deliberate individually, put those individual deliberations into writing, hand them all to the chair, and then have the chair compile those. Arguably, that would be a constructive deliberation, and that's the sort of problems that we want to try and avoid. So we're just, what we have here is a proposal for how to still allow the evaluation process to move relatively efficiently, but without the danger of a constructive quorum outside of an open meeting.
I have a couple of questions, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of blunt. We've been doing it this way for a long time, even under Jason Woodbury. So this came to me out of the blue. Second, one of the a possible problem that we could have if we do it the way that it looks like on here, where everybody just brings their own, is at the next meeting, there could quite possibly be 3 brand new members. And so then you're only having 2 people you're only having 2 of them evaluate her. They bring their own, and then you've got 3 people who haven't. So you're having now a discussion, a possible discussion with 2 people, and 3 people are sitting there and not knowing anything about it.
I can't fix that one way or another.
Okay. Like I said, though, we've been doing this for a long time, and It just came out of the blue at me because it didn't seem to be a problem before, so why is it a problem now?
The way I understand it is that this is more subjective. You're gonna, each board member is going to have number, you know, numerical,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're going to compile the numbers to come up with a,
I'm not going to compile the numbers, right?
You will do that at the open meeting.
At the open meeting, yeah.
yeah, the numerical scores into a single final version of the form. And then each board member individual forms will be attached to the final version. So we don't really discuss the parts other than the numbers. Is that correct? I mean, we don't really.
You can, but it'd probably be more efficient if there's real substantive feedback that you'd like to give to the library director. That might be better given in an individualized setting,
You mean each board member
individually
individually?
with the library director.
So one-on-one meetings if,
That's probably the most, in terms of public meeting time, the most efficient way to do it. The easiest way to give whatever type of feedback you feel is necessary. And if you guys want to discuss it in an open meeting as a group, I won't stop you.
Yeah, we
but
can,
we'll
yeah.
be here a while.
I think what Mr. Tully's saying is we can still have a discussion in the open meeting, but for efficiency and time efficiency, you know, if you want to have individual one-on-one discussions with Joy about some specific things that relate to your scores that you give her, it'd be more efficient to do it in a one-on-one setting. Is that correct, Mr. Tully?
That's correct. I won't stop you from doing it at a public meeting, but
So are we only completing scores then for the what we're turning in that will then be attached to the final material?
you
You
do
can, so we
whatever
can
you want.
complete them further. We're just not discussing comments.
I'd encourage you to
Okay.
fill those out however you see fit.
And then the individual evaluations from each board member will be attached to the attached to the final version of my
Correct.
evaluation. So I'll still see everyone's score and comments and feedback.
Could we have a quick refresher on the schedule? Are we still sending out the 360 evaluations to staff members? Is that part of the process still in place?
It was already sent.
It was
and
already
today
sent. It's
is the
already
last
underway.
day to
Okay.
respond. Yeah.
Okay.
And then how will all the board members receive that? Will you be sending that out to us?
In that
HR?
schedule, HR will compile it and they will send it to each of you.
Okay.
But I can look at that more specifically. I can look at that language more specifically while we're here. I can access the other, the agenda that gave my recommendations last time, because I want to give most clear and abide by that schedule that we agreed upon and voted on last time. So if you want to just give me a second, I'll pull it up here. Is that permitted? Do I have to add it as late materials if I pull it up, the schedule?
Yeah. If you put
Okay.
it on the screen, yes.
Okay.
So I have another question. So Joy sent me her evaluation, her self-evaluation. Do you not want me to send that to the board? I have not sent that to the board members yet because I was waiting for the meeting to get direction from you. Do you want HR to send that to everyone?
I actually sent it out to everyone
Oh, did you?
individually.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Never mind then. I withdraw my question. Thank you.
Okay.
So here's the schedule. We are on point, we're on task. Each staff member had until today to submit their response to HR. The HR director will forward the responses to the board chair by May 15th, and then you will forward those responses onto each board member separately by May 23rd. And it's important, that's why I sent out my self-appraisal to each one, every one of you individually, so we can avoid any possible, what's the word I'm looking, appearance of a quorum. And did everybody receive that copy of my self-appraisal? That's okay.
I never checked Carson.org either.
If you guys want me to send them to you at personal email addresses, I can do that.
It would be
Okay.
nice.
Would you mind emailing me from your personal addresses, and then I'll have that, and I'll add that to the distribution list. I'll just change you from the Carson to your personal. The reason that they set up the Carson emails for y'all is so that your personal email addresses aren't out there in the public forum, but if you're fine with that. Does that answer your question, or does that answer all questions? Okay.
Then do I have a motion to amend the evaluation process for the library director's upcoming evaluation?
Vice Chair Lucas, I move to approve the amendments to the annual performance evaluation process proposed by staff as we just presented.
Do I have a second?
Trustee Olivas, I second.
All in favor?
Any nays? Motion passes. All right, moving on. Where are we? Where are we? Number 6. Okay, library director's administrative reports.
Any questions? Excuse me.
I think we just went over at our last meeting a lot of the budget.
And there's not much change. You'll see that it's gone down if we were to compare the two. But we're definitely where I want us to be. There's some numbers on here that are a bit strange, but those will get fixed at year end. For that, so that's for general fund. Does anyone have questions about gift fund or others?
I don't believe so. We can
Okay.
move on.
All right, so I'm going to move on to my report, and then if there's no questions about the gift fund or grant fund. Okay. So, as of this writing, at the time of this writing, we had a senior library assistant position that had been tentatively filled, meaning that the candidate had not received her offer letter. It was an internal promotion, and Jalen Quibble accepted the position, and she is actually receiving her master's in library science diploma actually right as we speak, possibly.
Yay.
So, she's incredible, and I think she'll be great. So we still do have one senior library assistant position to fill to replace Cassandra Rice, and then we have 2 library assistant positions open as well. We did conduct interviews this week for library assistant, and we have selected some candidates tentatively. So, moving along. The Workforce Development and Social Services Coordinator position, those, we've gotten a lot of applications. I've weeded through them. I've narrowed them down, and we're going to do first round interviews hopefully next week. And then on to our programs. We've got a couple of things coming up. We've got an author talk with Mark Bacon, who's going to be speaking about his experience and work as a mystery writer. And it's going to end with a fun mystery trivia quiz, which I'm not quite sure what that's going to look like, but I love trivia. So if you're into it, please come and and engage in this activity. Our last author talk didn't have a very good turnout, and I think we had like 2 or 3 people, and I was like the fourth because I went in at the end. So I'd really like to get, and we're advertising them. I mean, we're marketing them. They're on our website. I feel like we're doing all that we can to market them. So, sometimes if more people come, just by virtue of more people coming, then more people will continue to come. So if you're available, please come. And then we're also having a Mother's Day craft program. And that's going to be something fun for folks to come and make something. We do this every year where we have it's kind of a make and take, so you can take something or a kiddo can take something to their mom. We still have teaching time with Toffee. That was a bit on hiatus. Toffee is the comfort dog with the Juvenile Detention Center, and they've resumed coming back. They were on a bit of a break because of short staffing over at the detention center. So Frank couldn't get over here, Frank Moynihan. And the kids love it. It follows our Thursday story time, and Toffee they love to, we have a little activity thing where they can like teach Toffee colors, or they can tell her what a banana is. And so the kids can engage with her in that way, and it's been pretty successful. We are going to be having our senator's office representative, that's Senator Rosen's office, will be in the library. And then there will be the Community Chest Family Connection. They're going to be doing this every Friday, the last Friday of every month for a few months. And this is where folks can come and learn about family support resources and programs that are hosted and facilitated by the Community Chest Group. And that's a volunteer group. And then we are going to be starting some Medicare seminars, and we are actually having some also Social Security informational meetings. So that's not on there because it's already passed, but hopefully this last one was yesterday, so I'm not quite sure how it went because I've been in a training all day. But we probably will be continuing with those because Social Security, when you're eligible for it, it's a bit of a labyrinth. And so this will help people who want to get started. They say you have to start like maybe 6 months to a year before you're eligible to get through the whole process. So this is to help folks in that situation. And then, of course, continue our Medicare seminars to help people better understand their options and their coverage, particularly with the fluctuation of what's going on with funding for those programs. So Carson City Reads was a success. We had 92% of the copies of the 2025 selection Solito were given out, and that's a little bit less than last year, but not surprising because nonfiction is usually a tougher sell than fiction. But what we do have left over, which is minimal, actually this number has gone up since I wrote this. Those copies that we purchased will not go to waste. Those will be given out as selections for the startup and completion bags for summer reading. So the fiscal year 25 second round augmentation, it turned out I didn't actually have to submit one because when I sat down to look at it, everything had already pulled forward from the last augmentation, so we didn't have anything to augment. And then here is a list of all of the different individual career mapping press releases that have gone on in association with our GoEd interlocal agreement and what work has been done by Tammy Westergaard in terms of that particular program and how it's worked in libraries. So you can see there's been quite a bit of effort. We've been involved in this peripherally since the Sandy Grant came into existence in 2021. But you can see that we've had a lot more. I've given interviews that have posted on different websites, GoEd's website, et cetera, about our role in this. So this has gotten quite a bit of attention. And this is the stuff.
The state, that's nice.
Yeah. And she was great.
Did you see the governor put out a tweet and said, learn about, I don't even know what he said, career mapping in STEM? Didn't put any links to anything, just put that out. So then I retweeted it and said you can learn more about it at the Carson City Library.
Oh, awesome. One thing I did want to add, a couple kind of pivots here that I didn't have solid information on at the time of this writing. One, the strategic plan contract had to be amended or changed, not really amended, but changed to fix the dates that were on the original submitted with the scope of work. And I'm waiting on a response from that. The Dr. Steinman's assistant, I just learned, is actually out of the office. And so I'm going to reach out to him directly and say, because she's who I've been working with. So then hopefully that will get over the finish line here shortly, and then we can immediately start the first community meetings and surveys. Also, the Friends of the Carson City Library donation requests or funding requests are completed, and those will be sent out tomorrow is my goal. And then I will present at the Friends of the Carson City Library board meeting on the 21st. Is it the 21st, Trustee Markle? Okay, it's a Monday. I can check my calendar really quickly, but it's the Monday after next, I think. And so I'll be going, and we're really just asking for additional funding in a couple of different places, community programming and for summer reading. But we are continuing to ask for funding for the same things: digital collection, which is the ebooks and audiobooks, summer reading, some community programming, Capital City Reads, and then they pay for our lease for both our adult and youth leases. So I haven't strayed too far from the normal things that we request, because those are aligned with what the Friends goal is, and that's to support our literacy efforts. So those all fall in line with that. So there was one other thing, and it's just completely slipped my mind. So
Thank you for the report. Does anyone have any comments or questions?
I'm a little curious, when you would do the interviews, do
Mhm.
you, do you have other people sit in with you? Are there several of you?
It's me and the
What's
deputy.
the process? You and,
it's me right now.
Oh,
It's
and
me and the
deputy,
deputy
okay.
director. Yeah.
Okay.
Once we get a little bit more, the reason we've not had a third, it's always best to have a third, so we have a tiebreaker. Usually Sarah and I agree pretty well. The reason we haven't been able to have a third is because we're so short-staffed, the people have to be on desk. And so, in this particular interview process, we had a full day of interviews. So there was no way we were going to be able to schedule it and have a third with us at all times. So we just went ahead and did it between the two of us. So, but we did have some really good candidates. We also had a lot of candidates that didn't make it through the MQs. But the library assistant that's not anything unique. We usually get 100+ applicants, and maybe 30% of them make it past minimum qualifications. So.
Okay. Thank you so much for your report.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. Okay. So then let's move on to item number 7, public comments. Does anyone choose or want to make a public comment?
Actually, there was one more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
I'm
the
sorry.
Board of Trustees reports, announcements, and requests for information.
Sorry, you know, you're right. I jumped that, didn't I? You know what? I was looking at the bold. Sorry. Okay, item number 6B, trustees reports, announcements, and requests for information. I do apologize. Shiny object. Okay, now let's go to number 7, public comments. Does anyone wish to make a public comment? Okay, so let's move on to item number 8. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Ed Sklarek. So I had a question about a couple things that are on the in the director's report under community partner programs in May 2025. Is it okay to ask a question about that? Or maybe I could just make a comment. For community chest, family connection, and Medicare seminars, those two bullets, the question that came to mind for me is if I was considering whether or not to come for those services when they're available, it would help to know who, more information about who would be providing, be there for that information. Or to provide what services are there for community chest, family connection, and Medicare seminars. But is that something that would be more fully explained in the library's information that they put out to patrons? Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for coming up. Sorry about that. Any other public comments? Okay, now we will move on to number 8, and we will adjourn. Thank you all for coming. Thank you.